Trouble's back in town.
Hello and welcome to another fun-filled half hour of great country music on the Wilburn Brothers Show with Loretta Lynn, Harold Morrison, our special guest Roy Acuff, and Bashful brother Oswald. And now, here they are, two of your favorite Grand Ole Opry stars, the Wilburn Brothers.
Thank you, Robert. She's all hung up on you. She'll do what you want her to. One look at you and she walked out on me. But I know all about your plan. You're gonna hurt her all you can. So, buddy, hurt her once for me. Lie to her like she lied to me. Build her up, then laugh at her like she laughed at me. You're the only man around I know that can put her down and show her a taste of pain and misery. Oh, I won't be satisfied, no, not until I know she's cried. So, buddy, hurt her once for me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you kindly. That's one way to get a show started. And, Teddy, I can't think of a better way to keep one going than to introduce Harold Morrison. Would you be kind enough to do that?
Let's do that.
Nice welcome for Harold Morrison,
The gate run like to knock me down out there. I think somebody had to hold that string on the other end of it.
You better watch out. Roy Acuff's here, and he brought a Bramer bull with him.
Oh, Lord, I got to get out of here now, right?
No, I'm sorry. He didn't bring anything but to hide.
I just talking to Roy a while ago. He said, I said, how you been getting along, Roy? He said, oh, we're getting along fine. I said, how's your wife? He said, I haven't spoke to her in 5 years.
Hadn't spoke to his wife
Yeah, I
in
said,
5 years?
you ain't spoke to her in 5 years. I said, that's something else. I said, how come? He said, well, I just hate to interrupt her. Pliny Jane's a pretty...
Wait till Mildred gets a hold of you,
I didn't
my
mean
boy.
it, Mildred. I'm just kidding, Mildred. Pliny Jane. Now, Pliny Jane's a pretty thing, and everywhere she goes, everywhere she puts her foot, a little flower grows. Blink, 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 said the harper, you ought to hear her sing. All the girls in all the world, there's none like Pliny Jane. It's one of Mr. Roy Acuff's songs here. He didn't remember the words, and I didn't either. Now, Pliny Jane, I'll meet you 'neath the pine, way down in the piney woods where the moon begins to shine. Blink, 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 said the harper, you ought to hear her sing. All the girls in all the world, there's none like Pliny Jane. But it's Parker down. Do it again. Now, Pliny Jane's a pretty thing, and everywhere she goes, everywhere she puts her foot, a little flower grows. Blink, 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 said Harper, you ought to hear her sing. Of all the girls in all the world, there's none like Pliny Jane. What's your fly, brother?
All right, Harold. Thank you very kindly. Harold Morrison, friends, we're going to have to take a minute to make some money, but we'll be back after that with some more fun. Stay with us, won't you? I'm right here, Roy. Where are you?
Over here.
You're over here. Who's your
Oswald's over
sidekick there?
Can't go anywhere without him.
Come in here, Oz.
Can't hardly go anywhere with him.
Good evening.
I'd give anything in the world if we had time for you to tell the people about Oz riding that white mule out of the Smoky Mountains.
I wish you would have
Let's
said
not
that.
get on them conversations. Like I say, I cannot go anywhere with him now. He's getting too well known.
Friends, I want you to know that for the last 3 years, we've been trying to get Roy Acuff and Oswald back out here to pay you folks a visit. And they're so busy and everything. We'll talk to them a little bit later on, but first I want you to do a song for us, Roy.
Going
if you don't
to.
mind.
Buddy
All right?
Spiker, take me away with you.
All righty.
Once more to be with you, dear, just for tonight, to hold you tight. Once more, I'd give a fortune if I could see you once more. Forget the past, this hurt can't last, oh, I don't want it to keep us apart. Your love, I pray, I'll be your slave if you just give me all of your heart. Once more to be with you, dear, just for tonight, to hold you tight. Once more, I'd give a fortune if I could see you once more. Forget the past, this hurt can't last, oh, I don't want it to keep us apart. Your love, I pray, I'll be your slave if you'll just give me all of your heart. Once more to be with you, dear, just for tonight, to hold you tight. Once more, I'd give a fortune if I could see you once more. Yeah! Very great. Dory, you thought that you was going to excite us. I told Oswald, I said, he'll be in there helping us before we get through. I'm used to work the opera with you.
I tried to get Loretta Lynn to sing bass on that, and I couldn't get her in.
We needed somebody to help us, and I'm sure glad you come in.
This old boy's been a sidekick of yours for many years on the Grand Ole Opry.
Yes. Yeah, he's kicked me to the side a long time.
Well,
He's
I
got.
understand he's going to pick one on the dobro.
Is he going to play with
On
us?
the dobro, I got it wrote down.
You going to play the banjo?
Yeah.
Play the banjo.
Harold Morrison
Said
will
he's
be
gonna
jealous
bring
of
it to
that.
me.
Get the banjo, Oswald. I don't know whether you can play and sing much without Rachel or not, but
I doubt
thank
it.
you. Bring it in.
Let's see, it's on a silver platter. Hang on in the key of A major.
Let's go there with it.
It is the black smoke a-rolling, and it surely is a train. It surely is a train. Black smoke a-rolling, and it surely is a train. I'm on my long journey home. I think I see my darling coming down the line, boys, coming down the line. I think I see my darling coming down the line. I'm on my long journey home. Now, baby. Everybody hear me all right? Yeah, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I see my darling coming down the line, boys, coming down the line. Think I see my darling coming down the line. Oh, I'm on my long journey home. I lost all my money but a $2 bill, boys, $2 bill. Lost all my money but a $2 bill. Well, I'm on my long journey home. Much obliged.
You know, Roy Acuff is our special guest. Hank Williams, one of the all-time greats in country music, voted to the Hall of Fame like Acuff himself. wrote many, many great songs, and Roy helped Hank in many ways with his writing, helped to publish his songs whereby you folks would have the opportunity to hear them. Here's a little lady to do one of Hank's all-time great hits called Kalijah that she recorded in one of her albums. This is Loretta Lynn, ladies and gentlemen.
Kalijah was a wooden Indian standing by the door. He fell in love with an Indian maid over in the antique store. Kalijah just stood there and never let it show. But he could never answer yes or no. Kalijah was a wooden Indian, never went nowhere. His heart was set on the Indian maid with the coal black hair. Kalijah, too stubborn to ever show a sign, because his heart was made of knotty pine. That his face is red, Kalijah, that poor old wooden head. And then one day a wealthy customer bought the Indian maid and took her oh so far away, but oh Kalijah stayed. Kalijah just stood there as lonely as can be, and wishes he was still an old pine tree. Poor old Kalijah, he never got a kiss. Poor old Kalijah, he don't know what he missed. Is it any wonder that his face is red? Kalijah, that poor old wooden head. Kalijah, that poor old wooden head.
Isn't that wonderful?
She does a great
Roy?
job.
Real fine. Loretta, come here. Loretta, when she first moved to Nashville, told Teddy and I how when she was a little girl, she used to get up in front of the radio when the Grand Ole Opry would come on and dance. And
She still dances.
There's a lot of things that the folks that see our show each week don't know, and I thought maybe we might pass on some information to them all this week that will be interesting to them. You come to the Grand Ole Opry for what one sole purpose?
Well, Doyle, I really came to the Grand Ole Opry as a fiddler, but truthfully, the Speckled Bird that I sang on my first show got me my job regular. I did an awful poor job of fiddling. I was scared to death, and I played back of the bridge about as much as I played in front of it. I'm pretty sure that Buddy Spiker could tell you they don't sound too good back of the bridge.
Well, we've always had the square dancers on the Grand Ole Opry, and those of you that have visited our Grand Ole Opry here in Nashville realize that we have square dances every Saturday night.
Oh,
we have a
yes.
square dance team there. And primarily, that's what Roy was hired for when he first moved to Nashville or come to Nashville. And only as a guest spot. You had to do the fiddle music for the square dancers, right?
Yeah, I came and took an audition on a Saturday night. Arthur Smith was away for some purpose, and they gave me an opportunity to do the first 15 minutes of the Grand Ole Opry. And I just did that as an audition, and I went back to Knoxville, and they sent me a mail to me, and it came in bushel baskets full. And in about 2 weeks, David Stone called me and sent me a telegram and asked me if I would come back and take a regular job, that I had drawed so much mail that they felt that I could make it good on the Opry. And I was the only one, the first one, that ever drew any mail from the Opry.
Great.
That's wonderful.
And the mail kept coming. It just barrels of it, but it was for the song The Great Speckled Bird, not for Turkey Buzzard.
Loretta, Loretta, do you realize that you might have been doing your little Kentucky dance by the music of Roy Acuff? Did you realize that back then?
Sure. The song that I started remembering mostly was the Precious Jewel. That's
Precious
the one
Jewel.
I think it was one of the greatest.
Loretta, I wrote that riding along in an automobile. It took me about 30 minutes. Rachel was with me at the time, and she would write it down as I would give it to her. I guess I wrote it, Rachel and Oswald and all, in about 30 minutes in the car.
What was the first tune you fiddled on the Grand Ole Opry?
Well, I can't tell you exactly, but it was either Turkey Buzzard or Cackling Hen or some of that type of numbers.
Well, where's your fiddle?
Let me yo-yo, doll.
No, I want you to.
Let him
I
know.
want you.
I'm more used to yo-yoing.
Let him yo-yo.
I want you.
That's not.
I want you to play the fiddle for all the Roy Acuff fans that don't get to see you every Saturday night on the Grand Ole Opry. Now, I want you to play. I want you to play.
Well,
that
hold
first
my
tune.
yo-yo. Let me get my fiddle.
I'll hold your yo-yo, and I want you to play.
I must tell this story now, doll,
All right.
because I want the folks to know that I cannot fiddle anymore. After I'd been on the network show for 7 years, I had to hire fiddlers, and I'd done everything. I couldn't fiddle and read continuity and sing songs, and my money was in my voice. And I just forgot to fiddle, and I forgot it for 25 years. That's right. So about 2 years ago, I told my boys, I said, I'm awful lonesome at night. I see television, but not all of it is interesting to me. So I told the boys, I said, I've got to learn my fiddle again. I've lost something in my life. And I went back to work to learn the fiddle. And I have learned a little bit, and at home at night, I'll fiddle 30 minutes or an hour each night, and then I go down and fiddle with the boys down in the dressing room. But about 2 years ago, when I first started, I decided I'd play one on the Opry. And I hit a few notes on the Opry, and the crowd commenced to cheering like that, and scared me nearly to death. I was as nervous, honestly, I was as nervous as I was the first time that I tried to fiddle. And then since then, though, I've accomplished it back a little bit.
Well, now, what are we going to play? And I want you to beware,
If
because
you hear anything knocking, it ain't my teeth.
If you,
This thing right here.
Buddy Spiker will steal every hot lick you got on that fiddle, so you better watch him close. What are you going to play? Come
I'm
on.
going to play Turkey Buzzard.
Let's hear it. All right.
I'm about as nervous as I was the first night.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you, darling.
So from the fiddle and the fiddle music for the square dancers on the Grand Ole Opry, a great artist walked to the microphone one night and sung a song and almost got fired because he sung instead of played the fiddle. And I want you to do the first song that you sung on the Grand Ole Opry.
I'm going to try to do it. You got me nervous now. But listen, on our way down, see, for the audition, this is all a true story that I tell. We talked about what to do on the program, but knew that I was going to fill in for Arthur Smith, one of the finest of the fiddlers at that time. And I said, well, I ought to sing The Great Speckled Bird. They said, no, they want you to fiddle. I said, yes, but all of our mail in Knoxville is for The Great Speckled Bird. And I said, I think that I'm looking for a job down there, not just to fiddle. I'm going to get on if I can. And I finally talked them into letting me sing The Speckled Bird, and that's where the mail come in from. So we'll do it.
Let's hear it, will you, Roy? Thank you.
What a beautiful thought I am thinking concerning a great speckled bird. Remember, her name is recorded on the pages of God's holy word. desiring to lower her standard. They watch every move that she made. They long to find fault with her teaching, but really they find no mistake. I am glad I have learned of her meekness. I am proud that my name is on her book, for I want to be one, never fearing the face of my Savior's true love. When he cometh descending from heaven on the clouds as he writes in his word, I'll be joyfully carried to meet him on the wings of that great speckled bird.
Friends, we're just about to run out of time, but I did want to mention one thing before we leave. I wanted to thank Roy Acuff, a Hall of Famer and one of the all-time greats, and Bashful Brother Oswald for visiting with us, and mention the fact, Roy, about the Roy Acuff exhibit.
We'd like to have you come to Nashville and visit us at the exhibits if you can. Thank you.
I'll tell you.
Roy brought us to the Grand Ole Opry, too, in 1940.
In 1940.
The year I was born.
The year you was born. Thank you. Roy, come back to see us. Friends, we'll see all of you next week. Join with us here. We'll have some more fun.
You're invited to join us again next week, same time, same station, for another Wilburn Brothers show.
I want to see you do your dance again.
Come on, Roy. Hey,